Meta has agreed to pay nearly $18 billion to settle claims it intentionally designed its platforms to get kids and teens addicted to social media. The company is not admitting guilt and continues to deny those allegations. $18 billion is a lot, but the states had been seeking up to $1.4 trillion. That means this deal represents just about 1% of what they were asking for. As part of the settlement, the company has agreed to establish daily limits and blocks on nighttime use for teenagers. It will add enhanced age assurance measures to keep young kids off its platforms, and it will create additional oversight tools for parents and guardians. Let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Misty Maris and NBC News business and economy reporter Ali Kanau. Ali, I'll start with you. What are we hearing from Meta this morning on the settlement?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with Meta, and they really wanted to emphasize that this is a historic deal. We have a bipartisan group of 52 attorneys general. Remember, when this case started, it was being led by a coalition of just a few states. Now we have tens of states joining in on this agreement. It's worth up to $18 billion. Part of that money is going to go to funding youth online safety initiatives. But the changes to the app are pretty significant here. And the two main areas of focus, sleep and school time. Meta is going to default teens to a 2-hour daily time limit cumulatively. So that's both for Instagram and Facebook. And from midnight to 6 a.m., the apps will be completely blocked for teens to emphasize their sleep schedule. And then during the school day, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., notifications will be muted. Meta is also agreeing to new age assurance measures using age verification and age prediction tools to identify those underage users, which they say they have been doing and will continue to do. One of their big arguments there was that this really has to happen at the device level. So that was a call to bring in Apple and Google so that when teens sign up for these accounts, you know their age right away. Because remember, Instagram and Facebook, you have to be 13 or up to use these platforms.
All right, so we could be seeing some changes, maybe pretty quickly, or how people are using these apps. Misty, Meta says this agreement was 51 attorneys general. That's states, that's territories, that's D.C. Does this put the case to rest? Because remember, juries had not been very favorable to Meta so far.
It puts the case to rest, and it gives the parties some control over what happens next, which is likely why they entered into a settlement. Nobody admits to liability. You have non-monetary concessions that Ali laid out in addition to a tremendous amount of money. But this really resolves the issue for Meta in the near future with regard to these lawsuits. And listen, settling these cases is something that, if you can come to an agreement, gives these parties some control. And that's likely why they entered into this agreement.
Ali, Meta is asking TikTok and YouTube to implement the similar measures.
Yeah, Meta is making a really public plea to these other social media platforms because they basically are arguing these new restrictions don't matter if a teen is just going to go on TikTok and YouTube when Instagram shuts down. So they are really calling on TikTok and YouTube to follow suit and basically want this to be an industry-wide push. We'll see, though. We haven't heard yet from TikTok or YouTube for their response here.
Misty, a judge still needs to approve this, right?
Yes, absolutely. The judge needs to approve it, but they give a lot of deference to the parties ultimately when they come to an agreement on the terms. So a judge is going to basically just rubber stamp it. It's very unlikely a judge would second guess what the parties have already agreed to.
So Misty, this means Mark Zuckerberg doesn't take the stand, right? There have been a couple of very high-profile losses from juries, expensive and high-profile losses from juries. What do you think the thinking was for Meta here?
Well, it's all about the control of the situation. It's all about calculation of risk. And so when you enter into a settlement agreement, you avoid all of that unpredictable quality of litigation. So it makes sense that Meta would take all of that, all of the other high-profile cases, all of the judgments, all of the jury decisions into its calculus when making this determination.
The stakes were really high for this company. Yeah. I mean, what these attorney generals were seeking was something like $1.4 trillion. Remind us what this case was about, what these plaintiffs had. The theory here was that these these platforms are actually harming children.
Yeah, it was really about consumer protection, and that Meta built these features like enhancement features for Instagram filters, scrolling, things like that. Intentionally built these features to keep kids hooked on the platform. And then once they found out that this was harming kids, they did nothing about it. They did not warn these users of the dangers and the potential harms. Meta, for its part, argued that the states are cherry-picking certain features. They're ignoring some of the safety measures that they have implemented for young users. That was their argument. But we did see during opening testimony some really intense rhetoric from both sides. There has been a lot of pressure on Meta recently. We've seen that reflected in the stock price. I will say that in opening trade, the stock is higher today on the heels of this settlement because this was a big overhang for investors. It was obviously a big issue for parents. We'll see if this can now become the blueprint for the rest of the social media industry.
Yeah, one wonders if this is a reckoning here for social media, that, the public is not going to tolerate sort of some of these features that, many people think are not in the public interest.
Yeah, and that's why this has often been called social media's big tobacco moment. That's something that Meta has really pressed back against. But sources who I spoke with have told me, look, like these trials, these cases, it paints Meta in a very negative light. Yeah. And Mark Zuckerberg has taken the fall too. He's been this CEO, this executive that people, don't really like all that much. So I think the fact that he didn't take the stand was also very strategic for Meta.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.